Rosy Hardy Gardening. I grow wisteria here at the back of the house, and I have for a long time not allowed it to go up. I mean, I do have some beautiful birch trees that it could perfectly well go up, and it does like to wander up and down my macleia here. But it's not how I'm growing it. It is actually trained as a complete arching over shrub. Now, unfortunately, in the summer, I missed doing the summer prune, which means I should have got rid of all of these long growths and kept it back. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of retro pruning on it this time, just to get it back into shape as where I want it to be. Initially, what I do is I try and find where the long pieces are and see where they're coming out from. And I will just go back to a bud and I will get rid of some of these long growths. Just get them out of the way. I don't need them. They are not required, and you know, they're growing up in the wrong place, so that I can keep those out the way and they're not going to interfere with what I'm actually trying to do within the plant itself. So it's just finding these. It's an initial prune to get them out of the way so that I can see the actual shape of the plant itself. So because they've gone up my macleia, Calway's coral plume, which is this big leaf you can see here, these huge big leaves, and it's attached to those. I don't need that growth on those now, so I'm just getting rid of them, and it means that I can now see all of the actual wisteria that I require and need to be growing. So there's a couple bit gone up this piece of, so you can see this is the macleia, there is the wisteria trying to escape and run away from me, and I'm just going to cut it off the main plant and get rid of that. Now I can see where I am and what I actually want to do. What I tend to do with this one is now I will go for the long stems. They've come out like this. I'll go back to where they are coming from, the main stems in here, and I will leave 2 leaf buds and then cut it to those. This stem here is going all the way down and joining, and you can see green growth and old brown growth. I want to leave at least all of that brown, and then go back 1 stem there, and I cut it off at that height. This is creating a spur, and what I'm wanting is lots and lots of spurs all coming off this wonderful old growth that is here. Originally, I had thought this was going to be another foot higher than it is now, but unfortunately it collapsed one year, and so now I'm just pruning it back to that, and all we end up with is we'll end up with short spurs with the plants on, and we will be able to see a really nice framework of material, and this just keeps it under control. I don't want any of these runners which have gone along the ground here. I don't want those, so those I take off much further back and out of the way. They're trying to root themselves into the ground, and I don't want them doing that. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for a good shape. So the plant is coming round like this. I don't mind the fact that it's in C shape, but what will happen is I will get a curtain of beautiful flower going down at the bottom. So it is equivalent, I suppose, of it's keeping it well pruned. It's equivalent of bonsaiing in the garden, but you do have to watch out for these runners. It does try and get itself really along the ground. Sometimes if they're high up ones, I will tuck them back up and get them going and get the framework to be a little bit higher, and then it will keep going. This is just, it's probably not how everybody would want to have their wisteria, but for me it works. And I think at the end of the day, your garden is your garden, and what you want the plants to do is your own personal choice. And I know that this works with this wisteria because it has been in the ground here for 20 odd years. It did originally go up a lovely wooden fencing that it was originally framed, that it was originally on, but that rotted. And once that rotted and it collapsed and then it became a nuisance for mowing, I have since then kept it as this tight, short, low shrub. And it flowers brilliantly for me. But you just need to get all of those wonderful spurs. This is an ideal one. You can see all of these beautiful spur growths that are here, that have been created. And from all of these latent buds, you are then going to get next year's growth and next year's flower. Because this doesn't grow too much, I'm really, really lucky we've got shallow soils here on the chalk. That I'm happy with the plant, how it is, it's tidied up, and it'll be great for next season. Thank you very much for watching the videos, and please do subscribe to the channel.